Yo, what's going on, gamers? It's around 6 days a week, and sorry about the rather long intro this time. I just want to look back at Dark and Darker's progress over the 2 years that I've been playing the game, and really highlight the fact that Iron Mace has been pumping out content while they're in a huge legal battle with Nexon. Now, from the title of this video, you can probably tell that this is going to involve some data mining content, and yes, it will. So, spoiler alert. Also, do not send this to anyone on the official Dark and Darker Discord, but you could pass this video around elsewhere. Alright, now, let's get into the meat of things. Dark and Darker has had a couple of assets hanging around the game files throughout the wipe that have not yet been implemented into the game. Some of these have been in the files since the start of the wipe, so yes, you probably have seen a few of these. This is just my take on them. First, let's get started with the Loot Goblin. The Loot Goblin appeared quite some time ago in the game files but has yet to be implemented. I imagine this creature will appear at the same rarity as the unique spawns, so like Grotox and Ozling, the ones that drop the minor artifacts. Now, I could see this mob having more functionality than just being an attacking goblin. Probably has some escape mechanics, can open and close doors, and maybe even push back players. A long while ago, it was discussed that this goblin may even be able to loot players themselves and run around with their gear, but now with the new functionality of the goblin insurance system, as well as the expressman, I don't see this being a possibility. Next, we have the Tetukul, or the Fishman, which seems to be an elongated murloc. This character is definitely going to exist in the next map, the water map, which we don't really have much information for quite yet. It could be some ancient sunken ruins or shipwrecks. I'm not entirely sure what the layout of this map will be, but it's cool to see that they're beginning to introduce some of the mobs into the game files. We also have an early version of the Sea Walker, which appears to be a zombie that is, well, existing in the sea. The Sea Walker does have one skill right now, and it's to create a slimy floor. So there's probably an AoE slowing and damaging effect. Not too much information or imagery on this Sea Walker quite yet. However, since this mob is named Sea Walker and there are walking animations for the Fishman, I do imagine that this underwater or water themed map won't be entirely underwater. So a lot more walkable areas than swimming areas, hopefully. Next, we have the Midnight Stag. Now this one has been in the game files since the near start of the wipe, but has not been introduced into the game quite yet. This isn't a variant of any existing monster, so the fact that it's named the Midnight Stag makes you think it will also be a special creature. So something that rarely appears or only it will show up if special conditions are met. Next, with living statues, which you can actually see in-game right now in their immobilized form. They're perched up in certain areas of the ruins and typically holding a bardiche in their hands. I believe these statues will function similarly to the living armor that we have in-game, so there's only a chance that they'll activate and attack the player. Next, we have male and female variants of the Dark Elves. The modeling data is not there quite yet, so these images below are just a general idea of what Dark Elves look like in other fantasy games. As just a reminder, Iron Mace has also talked about adding dwarves, goblins, and of course the crow people as potential upcoming races. Next, we have some new game objects, the Ancient Tomes. There are 3 tomes that appear in the game files. They are named Chronicles of the Cursed Crown, Diary of the Taz, and the Manuscript of the Warlord. I believe these 3 relate to the bosses in the crypt somehow. One possibility is they'll be used in a way to select the boss that you want to fight, or provide information of the boss that is in the Inferno layer, as they may appear in the crypts or the ruins. That way, you won't be met with disappointment when you wait 30 minutes to get the boss that you didn't want to fight. Again, these are just ideas. Iron Mace has talked about extending the match timer and making it so all 3 levels persist at the same time, and players will have the option to immediately go down to the Inferno layer at the start of the match. And finally, I want to take a look at this new boss drop, the Warlord's Armor Shard. Right now, we have weapons in-game that are boss crafts, such as the Grimslayer and the Voidblade, but there are no armors that derive from bosses, so this very much could be hinting at the first one. Or it's going to be another quest item. I have no idea. Either way, it's always cool to see some new things in the game files. Now, I don't have any information on the Sorcerer, unfortunately, but I'm sure Iron Mace is hard at work, plugging away at that new class and getting it ready for the next season, which I expect to take place sometime early to mid-December. What I covered here in this video is very much just a small slice of what Iron Mace is working on. There are a ton of things going on behind the scenes, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna be. Historically speaking, some of the largest and best updates to the game have always followed a period of silence from Iron Mace, and I will say Iron Mace has been pretty quiet recently. I'm excited to see what kind of cool adventures they have in store for us up ahead. Gamers, thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.